Hi, I'm Mr. Gravel, and welcome back to Rock Adventures. Today's story takes us deep beneath a city carved into solid stone, a place where history is literally built into the walls, and where some secrets were never meant to be discovered. In the subterranean district of Oak Haven City, Tuesday mornings always began the same way. A loud steam whistle echoed through the canyon streets, workers moved through the tunnels, and a small cafe known as the Archive Cafe slowly filled with the usual morning regulars. And among those regulars was a woman named Eleanor Vance. Eleanor was a retired librarian, but calling her just a librarian would be an understatement. For nearly 40 years, she had dedicated her life to organizing and preserving the chaotic history of Oak Haven City. She knew every document, every blueprint, and every forgotten record buried deep in the city archives. And because of that, Eleanor was known for something else too. She was unbelievably punctual. Eleanor never missed appointments. She never ran late. In fact, some of her friends joked that if the city clocks ever stopped working, you could just look at Eleanor's routine and know exactly what time it was. But on this particular Tuesday morning, Eleanor didn't show up. At first, no one thought much about it. Maybe she was feeling sick. Maybe she had simply decided to stay home. But when Wednesday passed, and then Thursday, and nobody had heard from her, people started to worry because Eleanor Vance did not simply disappear. Eventually, the city enforcers were asked to check on her apartment. Her home was located inside the north wall of the city, an apartment literally carved into the granite foundation of the mountain itself. When the officers arrived, the first thing they noticed was the door. It was locked. Not just locked, but secured with a heavy deadbolt and a biometric scanner. And the scanner was glowing green.
Perimeter clear. Proceed to the lock.
Copy, Commander. Scanning now.
Access confirmed. Let's move.
Which meant one very strange thing. No one had forced their way inside, but when they stepped into the apartment, something felt wrong immediately. The place was spotless, almost unnaturally clean. Every book was in its place, every chair perfectly aligned. But on the kitchen counter, a ceramic mug lay shattered on the stone floor. The dark stain of dried tea had spread across the rock tiles, as if it had been there for days. And then the officers stepped into Eleanor's study. That's when they noticed the real problem. At the center of the room sat a reinforced display case. Designed to hold Eleanor's most valuable possession, a document known as the pre-founding ledger.
Scanning for the pre-founding ledger. There it is, the legendary book. The case is empty, but the scanner shows residue. The pre-founding ledger. We have to find it.
This wasn't just an old book. Inside that ledger were the original structural blueprints of Oak Haven City, created before the massive expansion that turned the mountain into a sprawling metropolis, and now, the ledger was gone. Naturally, investigators began searching for suspects, and very quickly their attention turned toward a man known around the lower levels as Basalt Ben. Ben was a heavy machinery mechanic who had recently been working in Eleanor's apartment, repairing the ventilation shafts. He had access, he had motive, and frankly, he had a reputation for being in constant debt. But when the enforcers questioned him, Ben immediately produced something interesting.
This is my turf.
A digital tablet containing his Neuralink activity logs.
The bedrock anomaly.
In Oak Haven City, every industrial worker's neural interface was synced directly to the city's power grid.
There it is.
And those logs showed something very important.
The scan found something massive. A pillar, right under the city. Wait, Eleanor's apartment is directly above it. This can't be a coincidence. Scan complete. A massive obsidian pillar. Wait, Eleanor's apartment is directly above it.
The enforcers eventually found Sterling deep inside the ventilation shafts beneath Eleanor's sector. He was crouched beside a granite wall, desperately trying to align the brass corners of the missing ledger with a hidden indentation in the stone. When they pulled him out of the darkness, Sterling began shouting. "She was going to report the instability," he yelled. "The Spire is collapsing under the weight of the upper city. If she told the council, they would evacuate the entire sector, demolish everything I've spent my life preserving." According to Sterling, Eleanor had discovered the structural danger, and when she threatened to alert the authorities, he panicked. But what Sterling didn't realize was that Eleanor had already anticipated something like this. Because the final clue in the investigation wasn't hidden in the tunnels, it was hidden in the archive system. The digital records show that Eleanor had deliberately tracked Sterling's research activity weeks earlier. She suspected he knew about the Spire, and she suspected he might try to silence her. So Eleanor staged her disappearance, the broken mug, the open maintenance hatch, the missing ledger. It was all bait, a trap designed to force Sterling to reveal himself. And in the end, the thing that exposed him was the very system Eleanor trusted most. The audit trail of the city archives, a silent record, logging every desperate search Sterling made while trying to bury the truth beneath the stone. And thanks to that trail, the city of Oakhaven was saved from a collapse no one else even knew was coming. But for the people who lived there, the story would forever be remembered as the strange week when the most punctual woman in the city simply disappeared, only to prove that sometimes the best way to uncover the truth is to vanish completely.